Welcome to the Heart Path Podcast, your space to realign, reconnect and rise. I'm Nicola Spencer. I'm a thought leader, a coach in women's confidence, an NLP practitioner, a human design specialist, teacher and coach. And I'm here to help women in their 40s and 50s rediscover their purpose, find the joy in the chaos and rise into their next chapter with confidence and grace. Together we'll explore stories, strategies and soulful insights to help you embrace your true self and step into a life you love. This is where we let go of limits, redefine what's possible and thrive in every season of life. It's your time to rise. Are you ready?
This is my moment, my heart's design. I rise and thrive, the world is mine. On the heart path, where dreams take flight, I shine my brightest, my guiding light.
Hello, welcome back to the Heart Path Podcast, where we dive into self-discovery, alignment and living with intention. I'm Nicola Spencer, and today I want to share with you something that has completely transformed my life, human design. Now, if you've ever felt like the traditional personality tests didn't really quite capture the real you, or if you've struggled to make decisions that really feel aligned, or you've asked yourself questions like, what's wrong with me? Because that's what I was asking myself, then this episode is for you. So a lot of people ask me what human design is, and human design is a core system that gives you a blueprint of who you are meant to be in this world. So it's based on your exact date, time and location of birth, and it means that whatever the result is, it's completely unique for you. Even twins would be a little bit different because they are born some minutes apart, and it's kind of like a blueprint of you. And if you've ever done something like a Myers-Briggs test before, something along those lines, those personality tests are really based on your answers in that moment. And depending on, what was going on in your life at the time, your answers could potentially change, and it may not reflect you for your entire life because, let's face it, the person that I was yesterday is not the person I am today because I have all of the downloads and lessons from yesterday, bringing them into today. So, it doesn't really take much for one little thing to happen in your life to change your perspective on things. So with human design, though, it doesn't change. It is just based purely and solely on the location of when you were born, the time, the date, and it gives you this beautiful energetic fingerprint, if you want to call it, something of who you are meant to be and what you are meant to bring into this world. And it brings up your natural strengths and your ideal way of making decisions, manifesting things, how to use your energy to get the most out of your day. If you are interacting with others, so say if you're in a meeting at work and you need to get your point across, what would be the best way to do that? So these are the kinds of things that human design can help us. And a lot of times we are conditioned by a lot of other people, like from our upbringing, our childhood, the people we hang around with. These are the people that can condition you to the person that you are today. And sometimes you have to kind of like peel around those layers like an onion, and that really helps you kind of like work out who you are. Okay, so human design tells us there's a lot of different elements. So I've been studying human design for the last 4 years now, and I've done a lot of courses on it. I've read a lot of books on it, and I've not done one reading that's the same because that's, everyone's unique. And human design is like there's a lot of places you can get a chart. So you can get your chart for free. It was developed by a person, Ra Haru, who He developed this, and his website is where I prefer to get my charts from, because as a beginner, if you are looking at it, it's easy to read. So this is what I have. Very simple. It's not as pretty as some, but there's a lot of information in here. Okay, so when you look at your chart, you have like, it'll say your energy type, and it will tell you what your energy type is. It'll say what your definition is. It'll say what your profile lines are. And really all of that is, you look at it and you'll think there's just numbers and words, and you don't really kind of like, doesn't give you any context behind it. So your energy type is how you move through the world. Okay, so how you are designed to initiate, how you are designed to respond to things. It's your guide, and it gives you a way of how to use your energy. There are 5 unique energy types. There is manifestor, there is generator, there's manifesting generator, there is a projector, and there is reflector. Now, depending on what category, what energy type you fall into, depends on how you use your energy. I'm a manifesting generator, and I have an abundant source of energy because in my chart I have a defined sacral. Okay, so human design uses the chakras. It also combines the I Ching, the tree of life, the astrology charts. It also uses elements of physics, because it also uses the neutrinos in the atmosphere as well. So you might notice on the chart that it does have, the chakras generally are all in a line, and there's a couple of extras. Okay, so instead of having 7 chakras, there's 9, and the additional ones are your motors. Okay, that's where you get some of your life force energy from. Now I have a defined sacral, which defined means that I'm coloured in. So this is the sacral here. Coloured in. If it's not coloured in, it means that that part of your human design is not defined. So I have an abundance of energy. If something lights me up, I can just go, and I can go until I realise that this is actually not really for me anymore, and then I'll switch and change. Now this could be a bit like flaky for some other people. So some other say like generators, they are really focused, and then they kind of might look at some people and think like, well, they're not really focused. They're chopping and changing all the time. And this is one of the things when I kept thinking to myself, what's wrong with me? So I was one of these people that would have, like 5 books unread, a jigsaw puzzle on the table, which, is half finished, a craft project shoved in a craft box somewhere, which, I'll get back to it one day. Never really quite did. So I was thinking I was flaky, and I did kind of like think, why do I start things and I don't ever finish things? And when I did human design, I guess like the first module that I did when I was learning this, and I was trying to nut out some things, and I was writing some things down, and as I wrote it down, I was like, oh my God, this is like the world stopped kind of moment. And I really sat there and I thought, oh my gosh, this is like, for the first time, I really felt as if someone was seeing me. All of these answers to all of these problems that I thought I had actually are my superpowers. What makes me unique. So it was a real aha and awakening moment for me. I just vividly remember I was sitting at the dining room table, going over the modules, looking up, researching, writing down, how these words meant for me. And I literally just put the pen down. I just went, like this. I was just like, oh, it was just so like such an aha moment that I had to stop everything. And I kind of like, I think probably afterwards I went and did a dance or something to move some energy, because I was just so moved by what I found. So yeah, so that's, if you're a manifesting generator, you may relate to that. As I said, every energy has its different kind of nuances, and there's different things that you can do with that. Now, another thing that you'll notice on your chart is it says your authority, and your authority is how you're here to make decisions, and the decisions that feel aligned with you. Now, I am a huge advocate for making decisions aligned with your values, and when you also know your human design authority, you will not have decision remorse over any decisions you make, because you will know that you've processed everything that you need to process about this decision in the way that's meant for you. And it's so powerful. Since I have been like in the last 4 years, I have allowed myself time, because that's one of the that's what I need to do. Allow myself time with this, to make a decision, to feel all the emotions. I've aligned it with my values, and I've made empowered decisions, which really I don't really have any regret over. Very few decisions I make these days, I kind of like think, oh, I wish I knew that. I wish I did this. I just make the decision knowing that it is the correct decision for me, which is very empowering. And every energy type, you've got a way to move through this world. Every energy type also has a way for you to manifest and make decisions. Now, you might also notice on your chart profile lines. And the profile lines, there's 2 numbers. It'll be like a number from 1 to 6. There'll be a dash and then another number from 1 to 6. And this is where your personality really shines through. And it helps you understand how you naturally operate in the world. Now, for me personally, I am a 5-1. Okay, so that the number that goes first is the number which is kind of more obvious. It's in your conscious, and the number that comes second is kind of like an underlying theme. It may not be as obvious to you until you know it, and when you know it, this is one of the reasons why I was like blown away. When you do know it, you think, oh my gosh, yes, that actually sounds so true. So for me, number 5 is I'm a connector type of person. I like to build a community, and I like to feel as if I belong to that community. And then I have the number 1 underlying all this, and it is based on research. And research to me is very important, and it could be like me researching like human design, like a big topic like human design, so that I can share it with the community that I've developed. Or it could be something as minor as a little habit that I've had forever, well, pretty much since smartphones, watching a movie, and I'll have all these questions that will come up in my mind in the movie, especially about actors and what they've been in previously, and that kind of thing. And so then I'll research things about the movie. Useless pieces of information, which really are only good if you're going to a quiz night, So it's that kind of thing. And when I have this knowledge, it makes me kind of like pieces fall into place, I guess you could say, when I have this knowledge. And over my years, especially since I have been working on developing my own personal development over the last 10 years or so, people have said to me how wise I am, and how that I have a lot of knowledge on topics. And now that I know what I know, this is true, because I do research a lot of things that I might not ever use that research again, but I do use that. Now, other aspects about your human design chart are, there's a part in there which you'll see incarnation cross, and it'll say something like, mine is left angle cross of duality, and then there's 4 numbers. The 4 numbers relate to sections within your chart. Okay, so in your chart you have these parts here. You'll see there's numbers on them. Some are highlighted, some are not. The highlighted numbers are they're gates. well, even if they're not highlighted. So the numbers are gates, and the highlighted parts are the parts that are activated for you. Okay, so that's what those numbers are. They're your 4 most important numbers, and they tell you who you are here to be. And when you live your design to the fullest, you automatically will step into that role. Okay, so there's lots of other things that you can learn about human design. And if you are, say, a projector, for instance, you will learn about your energy and how to use your energy. You don't have an inbuilt life source that gives you inbuilt energy. You get your energy from other people. So when there are no other people around you, you may feel, drained. So if you've been so last night I have a projector that lives in this house, and that projector went to a concert last night, and hasn't been to a concert like this ever before. And all night I was excited for them because I really wanted to, hope that they were having a good time. But also, I was also really mindful and thinking, when there's so many people around, it can be very overwhelming, and the energy would be coming into and like really like living in the moment. As soon as that kind of like dies down, and you're driving home in the car and you're the only person in the car, a projector actually needs time to come down to like recharge. So a projector, you might find, has more times when they need to withdraw and do something quietly. They might sleep a little bit more often. They might just rest. Okay, so this is one of the things that you could adjust your lifestyle to, knowing what your energy is. So it also, there's some quite deep parts in human design. It can also tell you what kind of environment you thrive best in. It can also help you with working out how your best digestion method is for, eating. It goes quite deep. The readings that I do, level 1 and level 2 are the most common readings, and those readings really go over the basics part of it so that you can learn to move through life in this human design experiment, because that's really what it is. And it's giving you the ticket, the permission to live your life how you probably really always wanted to, but because of all the conditioning around you, didn't realize that you had the opportunity to do that. So human design does matter, and as I said, it was a game changer for me. And I no longer have any moments where I am second guessing any decisions that I make, because I make them, as I said before, really aligned with my values and with my authority and my strategy. Okay, I didn't speak about a strategy before. My strategy as a manifestor is to respond. So I'm constantly looking for things or noticing things around me, or signs that come my way that might pique my interest to explore that further. Okay. So when I understood how all of this worked for me, things did start to, it started to click. It all started to fall into place. I was just reflecting on this yesterday about, I have in my chart, my throat is highly defined, and this sometimes gets me into trouble, and I don't mean trouble as in trouble, but sometimes I think, oh, I wish I didn't say that. I'm a very fast talker and a fast thinker. I say things often without like running it through the filter of my mind. I'll say things and I think, oh my gosh. So for me, this is a really good way. I set lots of boundaries, and normally people know exactly where they stand, because my unfiltered voice will come out, and I'll say something, and I'll think, okay, and I am getting better at it. But it does still cause a little bit of a moment when I'm like, Thanks, thanks, thanks to Fine Throat. So, yeah, even though sometimes I may suffer with the unfiltered voice, it actually, I know that that has come out because it should have come out when it came out, and it has increased my confidence. And I really know what I want now in my life. And I stopped saying yes to all of these things that like drained me, that I didn't really want in my life anymore. And I used to always say, like, if someone invited me somewhere, I would either say yes because I felt obligated to go, or I would say no, and I'd have a reason why. Um, I don't actually need a reason if I don't want to go anywhere. If I don't want to go somewhere because it doesn't feel right to me, that is the reason. I don't need to make up a story around why I can't go. Really, that was just a mask for making myself feel better, that I'm making the other person feel better. And really, it's just not true. It's just like a facade that we build around ourselves. And again, it's the conditioning. Um, we get this conditioning from when we grow up, from the people, our parents who brought us up, from the people we surround us with. And these are some of the layers that will slowly start to unpeel as you uncover more about your human design. I can now recognize things in my environment that I know are right for me, and because I've said no to the things that really don't really light me up, more of the yes things are coming my way. It's like you're turning on like the universe to filter everything for you, and the universe does bring does the filtering for you. You'll have more times to say yes because of the things that you said no to. Okay. So yeah, I find that my life is more joyful. It has really brought a lot of joy. I've met a lot of people through human design because some of the things that I've said yes to really have really taken me out of my comfort zone. And I have been at a point where I have met a lot of different people for going to events that I really wanted to give a go, have a try. And, at the end of the day, human design, one of the main things it taught me was that I have my own unique gifts. The things in my chart are my superpowers. That's what makes me unique. There's nothing wrong with me. I wasn't too much, or I'm not enough, or I wasn't any of those kinds of things that we say to ourselves. I wasn't just playing the game just to make, to go along with the status quo. I now know that whatever happened in the past obviously was supposed to be to get me to where I am now, but there was nothing wrong with that. The messages that kept coming through really, I don't need to listen to them anymore because I know exactly who I am. I know exactly how my system works, and when you go with that flow of energy, everything is just easier. It's just so much easier. Okay, so I wonder if I've got you curious about human design. And if it has, I'd love to help you discover your own chart. And I do readings. So you can go anywhere on the internet and get a free chart. Okay, so I go to Jovian Archive. You'll get a chart that looks like this. This is where I recommend my community to go and get their free chart, because I feel as if it is the easiest chart for a beginner to read. Now, when you get a free chart from anywhere, wherever you get it from, there will be, prompts for you to find out more about your chart and pay this amount of money, you'll get a reading. Often the readings are not really, they're just like pretty much automated. Okay, so if you come to me for a reading, it's not an automated reading. It's a reading that I do myself. I go through things, I work out things. I might ask you some questions before I start. just to get a little bit of an idea of, what you are where you currently are at. And then I will then give you like a video. And the video is a YouTube, it's uploaded, private link, no one else can see it except for you. And in the video, I'll go through the elements of your design that are relevant for you, but also how you can use it in your life, like a real life situation. Okay. So I have a level 1, I have a level 2, I do have a level 3. The level 3 is quite advanced. I advise that if you have a level 1, that you really experiment with your level 1 for at least a month before you get a level 2. Then you would need to experiment that with that a bit longer before you get a level 3. Okay, so that's how it works. That's how I do it. I like to make it unique for everybody. And if you would like to have a reading from me, just contact me. You can send me a message. I am on Instagram, I am on Facebook, Nicola Spencer Coaching, and we can have a chat about how you can start moving forward with this amount of clarity and empowering decision making, just like I have. So I hope this episode has given you some insight into what human design is. It's probably my most asked question when I say what I do, and I say that I'm a human design specialist. People are like, what's that? Because it's not a well-known modality. And it is such a powerful tool for your self-discovery. If I could give everyone a human design reading, or tell them a little bit of insight about their human design, will sign me up, because I've got the 5 in my profile line. I'm all about building community and helping people lead their best life. So that I'm on board for that. Now, I'd love for you to share this with a friend. If you found this useful, share below. I'd love you to subscribe to this channel. It is a new channel. We're building it up, and the more people that get on board, the better. I'd absolutely love for you to leave a review. That would be amazing, and it would help people find this podcast even more and start living in alignment with who they truly are. Okay, thanks for tuning into this episode. Thank you for joining me on your heart path, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.